Hey everybody, welcome back to Omega Zone Gaming and to the first part of the Kingdom Hearts Retrospective. So, what happens when Square Enix and Disney are in the same building together, have an elevator pitch, followed by doing a lot of presumable acid? Alleged. You get Kingdom Hearts. Hey, postcard. So, Square made the pitch to make a world and universe around Disney characters. This game ended up becoming Kingdom Hearts. It's been headed by Tetsuya Nomura. He's been the character designer and director on the franchise since pretty much its conception. So, a little bit of the history. The initial ideas of Kingdom Hearts began with a discussion between Shinji Hashimoto and Sachiguchi-san, and they basically wanted a game that in its own way could rival Super Mario 64. Tetsuya Nomura, overhearing their conversation, volunteered to lead the project. The two producers agreed to let him direct. A chance meeting between Nomura and Disney, as well as Hashimoto, allowed the ideal to be pitched. This was back when they shared the same building. So, basically, the fate of a franchise divulged on an elevator pitch, basically. Funnily enough. Development began in February of 2000 with Nomura as director and Hashimoto as producer. While Nomura had done previous work with the Final Fantasy series and monster and character design, he did not actually get his widespread recognition until Kingdom Hearts. There we go. Funnily enough, Disney wanted a very simple story, but Sachiguchi told Nomura that if it did not aim for a story on the level of a Final Fantasy, the game would fail. Nomura also at this time came up with the idea of replacing secret trailers in each of the Kingdom Hearts games. These would lead hints to ideals that Nomura had for future installations of the franchise, while some of these may or may not see a future in the franchise. Ironically enough, there is one world that is not available at all in the game. However, it does exist in the beta, and that is Disney Castle. You can see it's on the world map, but it has no access. Mickey's inclusion into the first game was restricted at the time, and that's why we have the whole shadow thing in the first game. That's later on spoken more into in 0.2 of Fragmentary Passage. Disney, ironically enough, for how much they've always have considered their characters top priority, they gave Nomura full freedom to use the worlds how he needed to tell the story he needed to tell. So at first, Nomura and Disney had very different ideals on characters. They disagreed. While one side wanted Mickey, the other side wanted Donald, which, by the way, were both horrible ideals, it was finally agreed on that Nomura would create his own original protagonist. This may have also led to another reason of why Mickey was so limited. There was a thing in the beginning that he might have been the main character and that role was suddenly changed. I can see a little meekness there that would have led it to not, have as much openability to Mickey. So that's some of the foreground history. Let's go into some more stuff. Promotions. So, Kingdom Hearts was originally announced at E3 in May of 2001. Initial details were that it would be a collaboration between Disney and Square Interactive Studios at the time. And back at this point, they had a lot of their original voice actors, with Haley Joel Osment, David Gallagher, and Hayden Panettiere being the three newcomers that would play our three characters of Sora, Riku, and Kairi, who still, by the way, voice those characters to this day, unless something changes in Kingdom Hearts 3. So, basically, a lot was riding on this one game. A secret trailer was hinted in Kingdom Hearts Final Mix for a sequel. What happened, though, was a game called Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories that was shown off at the Tokyo Game Show in September 2003. This game was originally for the Game Boy Advance and was then at a later date ported into a Final Mix format. There were websites, demos, and everything else ranging the gambit to promote Kingdom Hearts. Kingdom Hearts is one of the most critically successful RPG franchises in North America. It has always gotten high scores, with Kingdom Hearts 1 getting an 85 on Metacritic. We'll get into the other games' Metacritic scores in later episodes. Most reviewers praised the game for its graphics, visuals, audio style, combat, as well as story. Later down the line, Kingdom Hearts was re-released in the 1.5 HD collection on PS3. This was the Final Mix version that the US did not originally get. It was then again re-released earlier this year on PS4 as part of the 1.5 2.5 collection, in an attempt for Nomura to bring the entire franchise together in one bundle. So basically, the original creation and design of the game, which left the game in further incarnations, were that worlds were separated and that basically everybody was responsible for helping protect the borders of the world. In the original format of Kingdom Hearts, characters for the most part would take on a look compatible to the world. A few, exceptions were Mount Olympus, where it wasn't really that big of a deal, and a few others, but Halloween Town, Little Mermaid, all those, Atlantic Cover and Little Mermaid, all those worlds had protection of the borders by transforming the characters into what would be resembled in that world. The good news of that being is it's actually coming in back in Kingdom Hearts 3. As we've seen in the latest Toy Story trailer, Sora, Donald, and Goofy will be in a toy form for that world. So, now that we've gotten through the history, let's go through some unknown facts, or beta secrets as I like to call them. which is what they really are. So, for the beta, we had several differences and content changes. Several big ones were Sora's original design. It was supposed to be half human, half lion hybrid that wielded a chainsaw sword. You probably see why that failed. Anywho, also a few other changes were Lion King's world was originally supposed to be playable in Kingdom Hearts 1, but it required extra coding that was not available at the time to do. A few other changes are the characters started to look better as time went on, of course. There was also rumors of Donald and Goofy also being playable, although not confirmed, but that would have added an extra layer. And the big one is, it seemed like in the initial concept of the game, the story was going to be more towards saving Sora rather than Kairi or Riku. There's actually a line that says, "Come on, we have to save Sora." These were ideals that eventually were removed from the game.
Good timing. Give me a hand, will you?
So,
move that pedestal over there for me. I gotta spruce this place up for the games.
I love the voice acting in this game. So, basically, a lot of minor things did change. It seems that the overall concept was in place from the beginning. A 14-year-old boy who yearned to leave home getting swept up into an adventure. So, where do these games fit in? There is an official Kingdom Hearts timeline, and I will get into that into the final episode. While Kingdom Hearts 1 is the first game released, time-wise, line-wise, let's see, Chained, Birth by Sleep, 0.2. It is the fourth game canonically in the timeline. The series starts out with a 14-year-old boy named Sora separated from his friends while trying to leave the Destiny Islands that were invaded. Mickey Mouse also goes missing as he is the king and he is trying to protect the world borders. He sends Donald and Goofy to find the key, which is the Key Blade. Maleficent is stealing the Princesses of the Heart under the orders of Ansem, Seeker of Darkness. To do this, she ends up recruiting your friend Riku to help at the end of the day. Unaware that Kairi is originally one of the Princesses of Heart, until the point where they, finally reveal that near the end of the game. You go through many Disney worlds, including Olympus Coliseum, as shown right here, Wonderland from Alice in Wonderland, Atlantica, Monstro from Pinocchio, Neverland from Peter Pan, which was really bad in the first Kingdom Hearts game. It was basically Hook's pirate ship, and the bell tower right at the end, and several other worlds. As I said, Lion King was one of the cut worlds because they could not quite literally get the extra engine necessary up and running. The gameplay is an action RPG. You do have dodge commands, attack commands, magic commands, and an item list. There's also a menu which gives you your items, equipment, abilities, customization, which lets you choose how Donald and Goofy behave, as well as equip magic or items to Sora. I believe you can actually equip. No, it was magic in the first game only. Potions became available in the second game. Abilities, which allow you to do more action-based combat. Equipment, I'm not going to switch my equipment because I'm trying to get an achievement. But you can switch your keyblade, and your accessory equipment. Now, the way the keyblades work is they're actually keychains. You don't get a whole new keyblade. You get a keychain, which the keyblade then reads, I guess you could say, and transforms. The keyblade is sentient. It can choose its master. You see that several times in the game, as well as exist without a master. Hint to a later game, the Keyblade Graveyard. The Keyblade still technically exists, it just has not chosen another master. Now on to music. Music has been composed by Yoko Shimomura, Karuya Wada, and it has been performed mostly by the New Japan Philharmonic Orchestra and the Tokyo Philharmonic Orchestra. They have had other artists on board, including Nobuo Uematsu, sorry if I butchered that, who you may know for the One-Winged Angel theme from Final Fantasy VII. The theme song is called Hikari in Japan, Simple and Clean in the US, and is written by Hikaru Utada and performed by her. She was literally the only singer Tetsuya Nomura had in mind for the first Kingdom Hearts theme song. So, you know, it has reached notable popularity in Japan, and it was #1 in 2002. That being said, the US version, Simple and Clean, also reached a very substantial amount. People love that song. It's one of my favorite songs, even all the remixes. The new one in 0.2 Fragmentary Passage, I love that. So, let's have a little bit more of a low-line discussion now, before I let you go for this first video. What do I think of Kingdom Hearts 1? I still love this game to this day. I play it every chance I get. I eventually plan on doing a critical run when I feel good enough. So, you know, as far as the game goes, it's one of my favorite RPGs. I love the characters, I love the worlds, I love the voice acting, the graphics, everything meshes together in such a great and phenomenal way. Square really outdid themselves when they thought of this game. And surprisingly, while it doesn't hold up as good as later installments that added, you know, faster combat, flow motion, and all that stuff, the combat still holds up really well to this day. As I said, we will be going over all the playable games, and when needed, I will interject the ones that I don't have playable versions for, like 358 over 2 days and RE Coded, as well as the movie for Kingdom Hearts Key back cover. I am so happy that I'm doing a retrospective on this franchise, and I want you all to please go out now. If you have a PS4, buy 1.5, 2.5, and 2.8 and get into this franchise now, because it is a roller coaster and it is a phenomenal game. I'm taking less of a freeform with this, aside from the little bit here at the end, because I want to give you guys facts with this one. This is a retrospective. How it started, how it's changing, and how it's going to get better with Kingdom Hearts 3 on the way. So thank you for coming in with this first episode and sitting with me and listening to me talk about a game franchise I love. And as always, like if you like, subscribe if you want. If you have any comments to help me make the rest of this series better, I will gladly listen. Until next time, this is Omega Zone Gaming. You all have a good one, and I am out.